Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Nunes. I wanted to review how to add and subtract decimals. This mini lesson will help you for today's assignment. Here is my first example for you. We have here 7 12/100ths plus 4 259 thousandths. Now the first step is always to line up your decimals vertically like this. 7 12/100ths plus, which is addition, 4 259 thousandths. Now I want you to keep in mind and notice that my decimal points are lined up, and I know that I'm going to have a whole number here. Now, there's something missing here, and I know that we've talked about this in the other math classes that we've had in our lessons. We need to place a 0 in any area that has a blank spot. So now we add. 9 plus 0 is 9. 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 4 plus 7 is 11. So our answer here is 11 379 thousandths. So you really need to keep in mind that you need to line up your decimals, and I'm going to show you another example in a minute on that. Now, subtraction. Remember, you need to line up your decimal points. 4/10 subtracted by 23/100ths. 4/10 subtracted by, now I'm going to make sure that I line up my decimal points, 23/100ths. I am going to draw a line. Now, boys and girls, like I said before, you have an area here and over here. You need to place a 0 here and place a 0 there. Now you subtract. Always look back at your operation. 3 can't go in 0 to 0, so you need to borrow. Make this a 3. 10 minus 3 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. Do not forget, your decimal point is right here. So now you have 17/100ths. 17/100ths. Now what I created as well for you, this is kind of like a little anchor chart that I had in my classroom. Some of you might have remembered. Adding and subtracting decimals. Like I said before, you line up your decimals vertically. Because you see your number here, line it up vertically underneath each other. 7 12/100ths. You have an addition symbol here, so it's adding 4 259 thousandths. Step 2, like I said before, you need to place your 0 to the right of any numbers that are blank. Step 3, beginning in the lowest place value, begin adding or subtracting from right to left. Now, as you can see, if you look here, you bring down your decimal point. So your decimal points need to be lined up neatly like this. Now, when you look in your math packets, you'll see the following information. Adding and subtracting decimals. If you go on to the other side, you're going to see some questions that you need to answer, and I want you to keep in mind the math vocabulary and also some key words that we've learned about in class, such as this one. Moses walked 3 5/100ths miles last week. Brian walked 1 8 miles. How much farther did Moses walk than Brian? Now we need to keep in mind that if we know that Moses walked this amount and Brian walked this amount, we want to know how much more did Moses walk than Brian. So you need to make sure that you are lining up your decimals, and you need to figure out, is this going to be addition or subtraction? Keep in mind this word here, that's father. Are we adding or are we subtracting? Keep in mind, you need to place your zeros in the blank spaces. This next one, problem 4, is Jayla needs the following groceries for a recipe she is making. She buys everything on the list and then gets $5 off the total. How much did she spend? Now keep in mind that you need to do something with all of these, and you need to make sure that you're lining up your decimals like Mrs. Nunes is doing right now. And you need to decide. She buys everything on the list. So I'm thinking that's going to be addition. Because it does say here she buys everything. So if she's buying everything, we're going to add up all of this. But then she gets $5 off the total. So you need to decide on what are you going to do with this $5. Are you adding to the total or are you subtracting the total? And problem number 5. Fox buys a game for $7.89 and then $3.25 for batteries. He pays with a $20 bill. So boys and girls, I want you to make sure that you're estimating. It doesn't need to be the exact number. Which is the best estimate of how much change he should get? If you have any questions on any of this information, please reach out to your teachers. We are happy to help you anytime. Thank you.